And the riot in Washington, D.C. has prompted many to focus on security right here in Oregon. And a spokesperson for the Oregon State Police says it's aware that armed groups are now considering taking over the state capitol.
Yeah, something strong to think about here. And Jennifer Dowling tonight digging deeper after talking with a local expert on extremist groups and just how the riots in D.C. can have an impact here in our area. Jennifer?
They can, Liz and Jeff. In fact, Randy Blazak says there's a history of anti-government sentiment here in Oregon, and he believes the actions in D.C. or elsewhere can inspire other local groups here to take action at our own state capitol. When people stormed the Capitol in D.C., sociologist Randy Blazak couldn't help but look back to 1995 and the Oklahoma City bombing to note the similarities.
That was an attempt by patriots, people who called themselves patriots, to strike a blow against what they saw as their version of the deep state, to create a civil war.
He says that type of ideology has since gone mainstream with the help of the internet and spread of conspiracy theories. He says here in Oregon there are plenty of people who follow it as well.
Oregon has a long history of kind of anti-government sentiment.
Blazak says the riots are similar in tone to some of the situations that have already played out in the Pacific Northwest, including the takeover of the Malheur National Wildlife Refuge.
We've had a long tradition of militia groups in the states. We've had takeovers of federal land in eastern Oregon. We've had kind of the anti-government patriot movement, groups like the Three Percenters and the Oath Keepers that have been a part of our state as long as we've had white supremacist groups.
There was also a demonstration last month in which a group of armed protesters opposed to COVID restrictions tried to force their way into the state capitol during a special legislative session. Blazak says he's also not surprised some people showed up in Salem Wednesday to protest the state government on the same day as the D.C. riots. He believes what happened in D.C. could also encourage someone to try it here again as well.
Salem has been a target of these groups, and because of this coming together of these ideologies, Salem will continue to be kind of a focus point, especially now that there's been this model of this assault on the Capitol.
And Blazak says it's also important to remember the vulnerable members of our community that could be impacted by the violence that they see in D.C. He says that this kind of violence can be traumatizing to members of the Black and brown communities as well as the LGBTQ community. Back to you.